Asingmune, akhoi pun vaccine kap thokuna corona de ngak thokuna hani punsibu hanjano honabada adon sok yabi. Tamo, kanya lo sandribo. As kharangana sasi na harago.
First, the headlines. Bahrain will lay foundation stone for around 20 developmental projects. Four people from Assam arrested with 3.8 kg of ganja in Mizoram. And huge drop in India's coronavirus infections. Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to ELITETV English News. This is UTPALA. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly and maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from the virus and play your part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. As part of the Go to Hills 2.0, the Chief Minister of Manipur, Nungtombam Biren, will lay foundation stone for the inauguration of around 20 developmental projects at Chakpikarong public ground. It may be mentioned that the Go to Hills 2.0 was started after completion of Go to Hills, an initiative taken up by the BJP-led government to bring development as well as to strengthen the relation between the hills and valleys of the state. State ministers, MLAs, civil and police officials will take part in the program. At least 4 people from Assam have been arrested with 3.8 kg of ganja cannabis. The 4 persons were arrested by officials of Mizoram Excise and Narcotics Department and volunteers of Young Mizo Association YMA in Kolasib near Assam border on Thursday, an official said. Acting on specific information, the excise officials and YMA volunteers intercepted an Aizawl-bound mini truck coming from Assam and recovered 3.8 kg of ganja from the truck, Excise Department spokesman Peter Zomingthanga said. The contraband worth about Rs 11,400 in the local market was concealed in the sand the 4 accused had transported from the neighboring state, he said. He said all the 4 occupants identified as Rafiq Uddin Laskar, 35, Rahul Alam, 21, Sahid Ahmed Laskar, 19, and Babul Hussain Laskar, 26, all from Assam's Kachar district, have been arrested for possessing the contraband, he said. They were booked under relevant sections of the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, he said. Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga has said that the relation between Mizoram and Assam is gradually improving after the violent clash over the interstate boundary on July 26th, which resulted in the death of 7 people, an assembly official said. During a 0 hour on Wednesday, Zoramthanga had informed the State Assembly that his government is strongly disappointed with the Assam government's order directing the state police to check all vehicles and passengers coming from Mizoram at all entry points in the name of anti-drug drive, the official said. The Chief Minister has said that the Assam government on July 29 issued a travel advisory cautioning Assam residents against travelling to Mizoram. The neighbouring state also issued another order to check all vehicles originating from Mizoram to verify that the vehicles are not transporting drugs in the light of the allegation that a high majority of drugs and narcotics were trafficked to Assam from Mizoram, he said. It's time for a short break, see you right back.
Cyclists and philanthropists na Cycling for Humanity campaign gi makada khunai asigi sotharaba kanglup singbu tengbang duna lakli. Reading e-ride na paikhatchariba One Household, One E-Scooter campaign asidasu hena mapungfa na ba mateng pangminas.
Manipur gumba pikraba state asidadi ekoina chachok chashin tawriba jaga singsi khutna lamba phumba jaga da ngakto maram aduna mayam gi damakta leijare environmental friendly oiriba adongi perfect partner e-scooter. One Household, One E-Scooter. High-level campaign asida mayam khudimagsu sharuk yaminasi.
For more queries, please visit our showroom at Sangai Pro Ningthem Call, Moirang Patlaw or Thabal Athokpam. And do visit our website arambay2020.com or arambay2020 app.
Tamo, kanya lo sandribo. As kharangana sasina harago.
Kay noy sibo, kay sa pinay sibo.
Hima. Covid ki vaccine kap thau sena ngana du phasna haini dudi.
Ay haksang kasi tawde. Ay kapoy. Nate, haksang kasi tawde ba inguni da kapag kay kadano? Ay kapoy hasin.
Tamo, narak dringay dana isana hana sexual ho na phatro. Kap thau na phatabra ba.
Hoyare, section man dum kapuro. Ay kapoy.
As khangdre da. Kamay ngana do na khangdre. Phare, adu de chalu khige. Pungo, mamay da kapuge ko, papa ngale ramo.
COVID-19 laisat asigi ngak thong bagi damak COVID ki vaccine kapna laisat asigi mari lena ba laina laisat singdagi ngak thok sabangami masida natana laisat asina sanghandana bagi damak matam gi sarkarna pirakpa sana kangon sing aikhoi ngakna satminarasi Cowin apps ta register to piduna adom su suksoi soidana vaccine asi kap thokpi COVID ki vaccine kap thokuna COVID laitaba iramdam mu heminarasi
aikhoi vaccine kap lese.
Welcome back. You're watching ELITETV English News. Let's continue with the news updates. Nagaland Governor R.N. Ravi on Thursday paid a visit to Fake District's Ruzazu village, the first Indian village liberated from British control and administered by the Azad Hind government of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in 1944, a Raj Bhavan release said. He also visited Chozuba and Yoruba village in the district during the day. During his day-long itinerary to the district, Ravi visited the house in Ruzazo village where Netaji stayed during his military campaign against the British in Nagaland. He also interacted with the Ruzazo village council members. Ravi also paid a visit to Posuai Swaru, a veteran freedom fighter whom Netaji had appointed as Dobashi interpreter of the village. Swaru shared his memories of association with Netaji when they fought the British. India registered a huge drop, nearly 19% in new coronavirus infections. The country witnessed 34,973 new cases in the last 24 hours, taking its overall COVID-19 tally to 3,31,74,954, according to data from the Union Ministry on Friday. The number of active cases in the country also declined to 3,90,646. The active cases now account for 1.18% of India's total coronavirus infections. Daily deaths due to complications of coronavirus infections also remain below 300. With 260 fresh fatalities, the COVID-19 death climbed to 4,42,009. The daily positivity rate was recorded 1.96%. It has been less than 3% for the last 11 days. Noted women's rights activist Sonal Shukla passed away after cardiac arrest in Mumbai on Thursday, a colleague said. Shukla, 80, was the founder and managing trustee of the Vasha Charitable Trust and worked with adolescent girls and women over the last 4 decades. She was the co-founder of the group Forum Against Rape, now known as the Forum Against Oppression of Women. Vasha started in 1987 as a library and women's resource center. It was the first only women's book library with a collection of over 3,000 books. In 1991, it produced 2 music albums and 2 documentaries on women in the independence movement. Shukla, who trained in Mahatma Gandhi's educational methods, had turned her home into a support center for battered women for 2 years. She gave space to poor girls to escape from family and community strangleholds through a program of life skills and community work. Lovingly known as Sonal Ben by thousands of adolescent girls and women across India, she tirelessly devoted herself to women's issues. She was an unusual mix of activism and scholarship who wrote both in Gujarati and English, not only on women's rights issues, but also on cultural issues such as music and theatre, scholar and writer Amrit Gangar said. Afghanistan is teetering on the brink of universal poverty that could become a reality in the middle of next year unless urgent efforts are made to bolster local communities and their economies. The United Nations Development Agency said in a report launched Thursday. It said the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan has put 20 years of steady economic gains at risk. The UN Development Program outlined 4 scenarios for Afghanistan following the Taliban's takeover that the country's GDP will decline between 3.6% and 13.2% in the next fiscal year starting in June 2022, depending on the intensity of the crisis and how much the world engages with the Taliban. That is in sharp contrast to the expected 4% growth in GDP before the Taliban assumed power for a second time on August 15. Currently, Afghanistan's poverty rate is 72%. Vigna Raja said Afghanistan now faces a humanitarian and development disaster resulting from political instability. Frozen foreign reserves, a collapsed public finance system, a crush on local banking because of this, as well as the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's take a look at the headlines once again. N. Biren will lay foundation stone for around 20 developmental projects. Four people from Assam arrested with 3.8 kg of ganja in Mizoram. And huge drop in India's coronavirus infections. That's all for now. Thank you for watching ELITETV English News. Do tune in again at 3 p.m. for more updates. Stay safe and have a nice day.